Good morning and welcome back. We're down here, and if you saw the previous short, it's a 1948 Farmall C. The wiring harness was burned up due to the alternator shorting out. So we got a new wiring harness that came in finally yesterday, and an alternator as well. So that is what we're going to do today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish taking all the old wires off, and then we'll go through and open up the wiring harness and see what wires we have. It should be complete. It says it was, but we'll go through and see what they consider complete. And what I mean by that is some offer the rear light wire and some don't, depending on what they say is complete. Because I've seen it from the big antique tractor parts. I don't think theirs includes that, but I could be wrong. So what I'm going to do is go ahead, like I said, and pull all this stuff out. And I'm going to leave these wires in here for now. I'm going to have to fish one through here because I believe these, yeah, they do go down in there. Okay, good enough. So we're going to leave those wires in there for now because we're going to use those to fish the new wires in. So enough jabbering once again, and let's get started. Well, here we are, we're back. I've got the old wiring harness out of the tractor, and we'll go over what I found. This is the ammeter. This terminal is broken inside the ammeter. When I went to take the nut off to get the melted wire off, it spins. So this is toast. The ignition switch, the terminals are not making, they're loose and they're not supposed to be, so that's not making good contact. The light switch, someone broke the fuse holder off, and that's why they replaced it with this. And I'm not a big fan of black tape either. So like I said, as hot as this thing got, I'm surprised it didn't catch fire, and fortunately it did not. But we're going to replace the light switch, the ammeter, and the pull start stop switch for him because he requested that it start and run without any problems. So we're going to eliminate all the possible problems, which I know they're problems. Now, moving on to the new wiring harness. Like I said, this is from a company out of Virginia, which is Brillman, and they are not a paid sponsor. I just like their product. They do a really nice job. Everything is heat shrinked, terminal connections, and the original wire loom. And you can see it's really nice product. All the wires are numbered and they coincide with the sheet here. So if you've never done one before, this makes it a lot easier. So that's pretty much it. We're going to do as much as we can on the wiring, and then I've got to, like I said, I got to fix the 3-point hitch on the back because when I get done here, I got to go home and order these parts so that when he picks it up, it's new and it does what it's supposed to do without any questions or problems. So I'm going to move around and get stuff set up, and we'll go from there. So just give me a minute to get set up and I'll be right back. So hold tight. Okay, I hope you can see. This is wire number 33, and it goes back here to the rear light. So we're going to run this one first. And I tell you what, it's kind of tight getting in here working, but anyway, the wind here today is really howling, and it was cold last night, nice clear night, you can see everything. But at least it's not like it is in Idaho. I watched Farmer Dave again over at Nelson Creek Farm, and they've got 8 inches of snow already. So, and if you hadn't checked it out, just go on over and check out Farmer Dave at Nelson Creek Farm. and see what he's getting into. All right, we've got the rear light run. It comes up under your toe board and up through here, and there's a hole inside of the electrical box. You just pull it up through, and like I said, number end inside the box for later. The next one we're going to run will be the alternator light. Alternator wire. Make sure we get the right one. All right, alternator would be number 21. All right. And number 21. Of course, they put it on the alternator end, but it's okay. We'll just leave it there. And we're going to do the same thing with it. Run this behind there, behind your air cleaner rather. Then you bring it this way. And we're going to run it up same places we did the wire. You've got two looms right here up under the hydraulic box. Those go in there. Yeah, we've got plenty, so once we get the alternator on, then we'll take and close these up a little bit. There we go. All right, alternator wire is run, and you want to run those under your battery box brackets. And like I said, you got two wire looms right here. They go in there, and then you just take them, close them back up. We've got enough wire here. We can probably put a little bit more in there once we're done, but once we get to that, we'll figure it out. Okay, next one, I guess we're going to run the starter to the coil, well, ignition to the coil, and get that done. So, let me move again. Well, we're set up on this side, and we're going to run the starter wire and the coil wire. And number 10, which is the larger, is going to be from the positive side of your ammeter, or your amp gauge, to your starter switch right here. And the smaller one is going to run from the power side of the switch to your ignition coil. Once you pull your switch on, you got to have constant power to your coil so that a fire in the tractor will run. That's the smaller one, number 11. Now, if you never done it before and you see something like this, don't be intimidated. It's not that bad. You can look at the gauge of wire and see the difference. But if you really want to check yourself and you got access to a voltmeter, go right here to where you're going to ohm it. That's where it makes its little beep. Put the two leads together. There's your beep. Now, you want to make sure you got the right wires. You touch them. Okay. This one, no beep. It's the larger wire. Come down here to the little one. All right, so you know that, there you go. And it also helps too if you're looking for broken wires or damaged wires in your electrical system. You can ohm them out and help find which one's bad. But the only bad part about that is if it goes to ground, it's going to read because it's using the metal through the wire, especially if the wire is touching it. So anyway, moving right along. Now, like I said, the number ends, put those in the box, and pretty much the same thing. All right, there is a wire loom right here. We're going to run through that wire loom, go behind hydraulic cables. Oh. Okay, through here, we go up through the box. Got them there, okay? Now, come up behind the two-way valve. Run this lead through. And what I like to do is take mine and follow the hydraulic lines. It gives you something to tie wrap it to. It makes it look a lot neater. Okay, now, here's our starter lead. We're just going to put this on here for now. Okay, that looks good. And this would follow all the way to here. We'll run this through here, and this will go to the positive side of the coil, okay? Then we got another wire in the kit that will go from the negative side down to your distributor. So, well, let's see. I don't like that. So I'm gonna take this back off because it goes behind it. Sorry. It's up against the hydraulic lever, and I don't want it rubbing a hole in those wires. So what we're gonna do is come back out of here and go up under. Go this way. And then come up, let's see, get that in there, yep, out of the way. Okay, now that's better. And then what I'll do is come up this way, and I'll tie wrap that there, and we'll go to here. Okay. And that should be out of the way. As starter switch, that's that one. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, we're going to be out of the way of that one, so we're good there. Well, we're getting closer to the end. I got the resistor mounted. The last couple things we need to do here is just run the wires, the ignition wire to here, from this side of the resistor to the positive side of the coil, and then from the negative side of the coil down to the distributor. Now the reason I'm using a resistor, I'm not sure if this is a 12 volt or 6 volt coil because this was originally on the tractor. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to put it back like it was, so that way if it is a 6 volt coil, we don't burn it up. Okay, So, this wire here, this is your ignition wire. This is going to come through. We're going to put it here. All right, and tighten it up. Okay, and then you're going to take number 100, which is the longer of the two, and seeing as how you're not coming back to this, you can go ahead and take the number off of it. And like I said, this goes to the positive side of the coil, and then to here. So let's go ahead and put this on here. There we go. This way we're not close to the spark plug wire. Okay. And then number 19, the shorter of the two, will go from here down to here. Okay, that's pretty much it for that. What I'm going to do now is tie wrap all this stuff back so it's nice and neat, and then then I'll get everything set up to run the headlight wires, which is going to be fun, and then we'll come back. So stay tuned, and I appreciate you hanging out so far. Okay, we're getting ready to run the light wires. This one is the most tricky one to do because they run up through the center post and then they split. Well, whoever did this one, what they did was they pulled a wire up to this side, and I'll explain that in a minute, and they pulled one from this side and just tied it in over here. When the original wire, right here, it goes up, and you've got two leads on it to go from one side to the other. So anyway, what I did, which is similar to what this person did, I took and taped a piece of wire to the light wire coming out of each end, and then I pull them through like this. And I got one green wire. Now let me see if I can get the other one. There we go. There it is. And that's it. It's the simplest, easiest way to do it. Now I've got enough wire there. I'll just cut these green wires. Throw this with the rest of the pile. Okay, so the next thing to do is get these ready. You can just loop the wire through the eyelet. I hope it'll go through. Maybe too big to go through there, so we'll see. Hopefully not. And doing it this way too saves you all the trouble of having to take this T-post off and fishing it that way. Okay, let's see what we got. See if we have any luck. And then pull this one. There we go. I hope these wires will go up in there. I got one up through there. There we go. I hope. Yep. Uh-oh. Always something. All right. Oh no, worst thing, wire broke. Bummer. So, that being said, let's see if I can pull both out that side. I got one here. Okay, I see. Hopefully I can get lucky. All right. fix this one on up. I might be able to pull it. Fingers crossed. I know why. It's a bunch of trash in here now. All right, let's see what we can do. All right, we got that out. We're gonna tape this back together and keep your fingers crossed. Okay. We'll pull them back. All right, that's that side. What it is, the insulation on these things, the insulation that they've got covering the wire is slipping. And that's what the problem is. There we go. See, that's what happened. This insulation slid down. So we're going to have to work on that. To get that to where there we go. Okay. This insulation has slid back on the wire. And I think that there's trash and dirt and everything in there as well, probably a dirt dauber's nest or something. So, all right. All right, well, we're gonna try something. Let me think about this so I can get this through there, and then we'll be right back. So stay tuned. All right, I have achieved success. I got the wires through. What I did was I took electrical tape and wrapped the end of the insulation, the cloth insulation, so it would be have a point on it and it would pull through. That worked. And then when I got to right about here, there's a ground wire, and somebody had a mile-long self-tapping screw in there. And it hung up, so once I pulled these screws out on both sides, it come right on through. Plus there was dirt dauber's nest and all kinds of stuff in there I had to clean out too. But overall, it's not a bad job. It's self-explanatory, straightforward, however you want to say it. We'll do something about this because I definitely don't like this either. I want everything right when it goes back. But like I said, I got to order the kill switch, the ammeter, and the headlight switch. That way I know everything on here is brand new and it should run. So, well, that's it. I'm gonna put the alternator on, and when the parts come in, we'll get back out here and we'll finish up the video. So thank you, and we'll see you then.